Anish doing the same. Just take that pawn, have it. But he's going back and forth, back and forth. I think Jose might be a little bit too fast, Simon.
Yeah, but Anish is quick, right, as well. I didn't think Anish would be this quick, and he's got a time advantage now, Anish. Maybe he's going to flag Jose. I did not expect this. One of the quickest players ever.
Oh, they're both making bad moves in the time trouble, but Anish does secure the draw. And Simon, maybe you're right, but I really thought that Jose would be the fastest of the two, and he might be in the long run. But Anish just proved to everybody that he can outpace his opponent.
That's right. I mean, that was, if you needed proof, that was proof just how quick Anish can be. He knows how to pre-move. He knows a lot of the tricks. He's obviously been practicing quite hard, and the score line at the moment still incredibly close, just 1 point in it.
Yes, and I think for Jose, who has won a couple bullet brawls, and you think, what does that mean? He's been ahead of Hikaru, of Danya, Andrew Tang plays in those. Magnus also joins the party. So, I mean, Jose has really done his work. But right now, look at this position. It's Anish up a pawn, ahead on the clock. Anish happens to look like the stronger of the two bullet players right now.
He is. He's looking very, very good. I never thought Anish should be a bullet player. I mean, I don't know why I didn't assume Anish should be a bullet player. You mentioned these jokes about Anish being a very drawish player earlier on, and I have to say, I think that's a little bit unfair on Anish. If we watch his games, he's actually a very aggressive player. I mean, he had all draws in one candidates, but apart from that, his style of chess is aggressive. Saying that, Black and Anish is in charge here, Robert.
Yeah, Anish is playing wonderfully. He's also well ahead on the board, up a piece, well ahead on the clock, and you saw Jose kind of wave it off. You know, that's the white flag. I resign. Anish now up 2 points. So Amino Hanyan, he's also playing in this one against Hikaru Nakamura, and that might not be the spread that people expect. So let's go back to our two-board scene when we get the chance, because Nakamura is ahead, Simon, but look at the score. It's only a 1 point lead.
That is not a big lead. I expected this could even be a whitewash, but Amin is playing incredibly good chess
and he won
so
again.
far. I mean, he won again. Wow, is it 2.5 all? That could be an amazing upset, right? So, okay, it's a very close match anyway going on there, and we'll update the scores quickly, but Amin putting in some performance at the moment.
Yeah, I think so it actually is Hikaru who's getting those wins. We did have a misunderstanding based on the camera. Sorry about that, everybody. But it looks like Hikaru 4.5, 1.5. So it was a victory, at least one, thus far for Amino Hanyan. That's still to his credit. But now it does seem like Hikaru is in charge.
I love that. There's a comment in the chat saying, okay, it's all back to normal now. And that's kind of what we expect when Hikaru is playing that scoreline of dominating. And here he has the extra queen. Black's trying to get a blockade in the position, but there's certainly no blockade as of yet.
Wow. Anish Giri up against Jose Martinez. Hikaru, he's in the driver's seat against Amino Hanyan. As you mentioned, a blockade would be necessary for Amino Hanyan to draw this game. But I don't know why. I feel like I always call him his full name. Now that I'm just saying it so much, I can't just say one name. It's Amino Hanyan to me. But let's just call him Ohanyan. He is doing really well, Simon, against Hikaru to try to hold the fort.
Yeah, he's playing very well, but there you go, a couple of pawns dropping there. He's getting strong counterplayed over the queenside pawns, and the computer actually thinks that this position is equal, this ending that Hikaru and Amino got there. And, am I right in thinking it means, I say only, but he's only an international master? Is that right? Look at the confusion on both players' faces. Amin dropping the rook there. Painful
yes, and
loss of a rook.
He is an IM in title only. He's well on his way to the GM title. He's a teenager. He played in the Junior Speeches Championship. He also has at least 2 GM norms to his name, as far as I'm aware. Might already be 3. That's the progress that these kids make these days. But right now, Hikaru, he's bopping his head. He's feeling the music, and he is up by 4 points. Whereas the other matchup, Simon, it's very close.
It's very close. And one more thing about Amin, he's got a bit of Eric Hansen about him, right? Is he? We're not sure that he's connected to Eric. Is he not his long lost brother there or something? They look quite similar to me, very similar. But the Jose versus the Anish match is so close, and I think you can just tell by their body language how much they are focusing, and they realise how close this match will be. Jose with the attack here. What's happening? There's something happening. He's not sure with his hand what's going on.
Yeah, what is happening? Because Jose, if what we have on screen is correct, it looks like he just won the game. by checkmate,
Yeah.
but he seemed
Yeah.
flustered by something that was happening. So I would love to receive word. We'll, of course, ask our team. They're working hard behind the scenes to figure this out. But yeah, Jose did not look pleased.
No, and this win should take the match to 3-3. You can't get any closer than that. And this is the closest match. Robert, you're so good at calling matches. You called this match out of every single match, and it looks like the one that is going to be the closest. Maybe there's some freeze here. I'm sure we'll get on top of it very soon. Whatever's happening there.
Yeah, as they figure it out, let's go back to Hikaru and Ohanyan here. They're still... Oh, Rook takes a6! Oh my gosh, what was that?
Wow, what happened there? Did Hikaru blunder?
I mean, that was a pawn capture on a6, but the rook was defending it, so that seemed like a terrible mistake.
You literally blink and you miss all the action. It's just typical. And okay,
Hikaru was black in that game, by the way, so the cameras are flipped.
Oh, okay.
But I think there are a lot of things happening with Jose and Anish as well. So yeah, that was a win for Hikaru. He is now up 5.5, 1.5, it would seem. So while Jose and Anish are figuring things out, it seems like there are some technical issues. So to be transparent with you, we are going to take a quick break, but when we return, it's going to be more from the Bullet Chess Championship. You will not want to miss the conclusion of today's action between Anish Giri and Jose Martinez and Hikaru Nakamura and Amino Hanyan. We'll be back soon. We apologize for the delay, but we are back, and it looks like Hikaru Nakamura is thriving. 9F, 1F over Amino Hanyan. And then we see that in the other matchup, Jose Martinez, down in the bottom right, he leads 6-3 against Anish Giri. Simon, if I'm remembering correctly, it was 3-1 in Anish's favor. That means 5 wins in a row for Jose.
Yeah, Jose's really rolling now. I mean, Anish was playing great. It looked like Anish was actually dominating a little bit there, but Jose back in the match with double Anish's points. So if Anish has got to have any chances here, he's got to win this game and get a roll going himself.
Yeah, and he's got a great position. He just won a rook, so I think that's game over in Anish's favor. And for Jose, you don't resign. Remember we saw Danya doing that earlier, Simon, where he would just sip on some water, take his time, then eventually lose the game. Jose, not perhaps looking at the match clock, 11 minutes, 50 seconds left. You kind of want to waste that time.
Yeah, that would have been certainly better match strategy, just to try to let the clock go down when you have an advantage on the scoreboard. Because the more games you play, the more chances you give your opponent to catch up. And I've been watching the chess. It's been very, very close between these two, as you called it, Robert. Anish has been playing some nice positional chess, but Jose's been up to the task. You know, he's very quick. He doesn't give much away in the way he plays. You know, he's got a very solid style, Jose, and it's very hard to break him down. And we're getting lots of these positions, lots of these kind of middle game, end game positions where Jose is playing fantastic. So close match though, still time left.
Very close match, and it will serve as a good reminder. It's win by 2. So all Anish Giri needs to do is cut the deficit to 1 point when the time elapses, then you get another chance. So a 2-point deficit, he's right there. Although rook takes d4, that was a blunder from Anish. As soon as I was saying what he needs to get done, he is maybe not doing it.
Yeah, that's a big mistake from him because, you know, it's going to be 3 points. I think if you're in grasp for like 2 points, maybe 3 points with, you know, some time left, it's okay, but as soon as it starts going out your grip, it's downhill. The position now, though, is still a bit messy. White has this very strong pass pawn.
Yes, Anish could have repeated moves, but instead he's playing for a win. He's maybe realizing, Simon, that he is the faster player in the time scrambles. I really can't believe I'm saying that because of how quick Jospham is, but look at the clock. Suddenly Anish is up a couple seconds.
Yep. He's up, and that is very important at this stage, but they are repeating the position, I think. Is that right? It looks like that one was a draw, so...
You know, I think it's one of those moments that Anish might regret. He could have gone for the flag. It wasn't even endgame. They both knew that it should be a draw, but there's no should-be's in Bullet. It's chaos. You cannot control a lot of things when you're just throwing pieces around without even looking what your opponent's doing. But Anish, with the black pieces here, I mean, look at this position from Jospham. I think that Jose should be happy about the opening.
Yeah, he's picked up a pawn now as well. More exchanges coming in, and more importantly, he's got some very nice squares for his rooks here. There's one square, and there's another square. Well, that's a killer. You have to play this move, but now your king is so exposed.
Wait, rook takes f4! Rook takes f4! You can't take the rook back!
Oh, rook takes f4. Can you see it? He's played it. H5, keeping the king closed.
Yeah,
oh no, then the rook drops. Oof.
So is this rook takes rook and the queen g7 check and h7? You might get a queen over there.
Maybe h7 straight away as well, Robert. And he's played it. Same idea here. Just trying to push the pawn through. That was... Oh, look at his face. I see it.
Yeah, we both noticed it. Jose was kind of like, what was I doing? But yeah, I'm getting the win.
I love that. He drops a rook, but he still wins the game. I feel that could have been a key game, Robert. I mean, there's 8 minutes and a half left, but he's taken the lead to 3 points now. Can you come back from a 3-point lead?
You can, because, you know, we'll keep reminding people, you just need to cut it to 1. It's win by 2, so as long as Anish can make it to a 1-point deficit, he has a chance. But look at this position. Really nice. For white, bishop pair, open space, but there are no clear targets in black's position, and that means you're going to struggle to find an actual plan besides having an aesthetically pleasing position.
This is kind of how the match has been going between these two. I mean, a lot of the time Anish is getting a slight advantage. The 2 bishops, like nice, slightly nicer pawn structure, pawn in the middle. But Jose is very solid, and he's just repeating. Look at the knight going backwards and forwards. He's basically saying to Anish, right, you've got to do something. How are you going to do it? And then he repeats again, and he just waits for Anish to, you know, do something that he can take advantage of. And it's a weird style, very strange style, Robert.
Yeah, just kind of wriggling his way out of tough moments. And for Anish, I mean, this is the type of position where, oh, look at that, he caught him. I was about to say, you might want to take on D5 and try to catch him, and he did catch him because Jose was pre-moving.
Yeah, and that's the danger of playing this way. You know, if you pre-move all the time, you can easily blunder. And he's doing the right thing, though, now. He's making the clock drag out a little bit. He might as well play until the last seconds. Of course, Anish will win this game. But you've got a knight with check. Crafty move there.
That was awesome, because getting a queen doesn't change the result. So you might as well force Anish to waste a couple seconds getting his king out of check.
Yeah, that was crafty. I like that. Every second counts. And he's running his time down there. And now the deficit is only 2 games, I think. Really close. Hikaru is dominating. He's up to 15.5 points. That's more points than anyone else has scored. I mean, the match is not close there. That's why we're concentrating on this one, because this could even be a playoff. All that Anish needs to do is win one more game.
That's right. I mean, Hikaru is just cruising right now, completely dominating that matchup. Credit to him. He's such a beast. But we're locked in on this matchup. It is very close. 2-point lead for Jose Martinez. And look at the clock in this game. This is what... it's not a pawn blunder because the queen is on F2. But look at Jose. I think he's just looking at this match right now, Simon. He wants to burn clock, but he also wants to beat Anish on the clock. He's up 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, again, very solid position. And it's Jose. You might think that Anish would be the player trying to keep things more solid, but Jose is keeping everything under control and just trying not to give too much away. This position, of course, is equal. Anish trying to get in with his queen, but it's the time now which is important. There's only 5.5 minutes left of the match. Jose is 2 points up. Anish just has to avoid losing this game, and then he's got to win the next one, right? I mean, it's the only strategy I can suggest here. But in actual fact, it's looking a bit better for Anish now.
Oh, it's looking much better, because look at the king on h4. King f3 would be met by queen g1. So he steals a pawn. His king runs away. And if you're Anish, you might even make a draw here. He's not going to, because he's up a pawn and wants to win. But you know what I mean, Simon? Sometimes you just allow the repetition to avoid the loss.
That's right. And, I mean, it's a great chance, though. I mean, if he wins this one, he's got 12 seconds. Can he do it in time? I mean...
Yes.
So far, we've seen Anish moving very quickly, but it's going to come down to the clock. Keep an eye on the clock, everyone.
Queen c4, and he gets a queen. He's now up a queen, and running out of checks is Jose Martinez. Anish gets it.
Do it. Brilliant play from Anish. That was a really important game, Robert. 1 point in it with 4.5 minutes to go. This is insanely close.
Yeah, and Anish has been proving throughout the match that he can keep up on the clock, and that's what a lot of the underdogs have been unable to do. So this, I mean, it's the 8-9 matchup for a reason. They are very, very close, and Jose has his work cut out for him.
Yes, he does, and he goes straight in with his normal opening here. More pieces on the board in this one. The queen's still on. Fairly even at the moment. The valuation bar doesn't think so. Maybe there was some tricks there, but this is a good strategy, pushing the h-pawn, quite a modern way of playing. You've always got some ideas around your opponent's king then. And he's blundered. Yeah. He's blundered. Sorry, Robert, I didn't see that. He's blundered a piece.
You're fine. I mean, Jose didn't see it. I didn't see it. I just saw the eval bar go sky high. It's because bishop e3 hit the queen of the knight in a row, and now it's another piece.
Wow. Unbelievable. Maybe has he managed to save that piece there? He has, but it's still one piece. Anish should win this game, and it will be equal on points with only a couple of minutes to go. So close, this match.
Look at this. E6 next, and it's just mate. Like the black king is just completely checkmated over there.
Beautiful play. And there it is, the Arabian checkmate. 7.5 all. We have to stay on this match. Just a quick update. Hikaru is just dominating in the other one, as Hikaru does.
Hikaru is just so good. Like, it's funny how we haven't even had time to look at that match because this one's been so close, but Hikaru is running away. He ran away from the start, 19.5, 1.5, the highest score of the day. But in this one, Simon, it's tied up right now. Anish has the black pieces. He's the better pawn structure, but Jose has the bishop pair. Can White get some kind of attack going? It doesn't really look like it to my eyes.
It looks like a very solid pawn structure. What you need to do in these situations where things are quite static is look for your pawn break. And neither side really has a good pawn break, right, Robert? I mean, white can try f4. That's not going to help his structure. There he goes. He plays the f4 break. The problem with this one is the black knight now has a great square in the center of the board. So if anyone's better, it's going to be Anish yet again here.
I mean, just excellent play from Anish. Quick play, but Jose still ahead on the clock. And he's keeping all the pawn breaks under control. This bishop reroutes to the c6 square. Will attack the e4 pawn. You have to be very careful for Jose with that knight trying to come to c5 as well.
And the pawn drops in the middle. This is a horrible run for Jose. Anish is in turbo drive. The white king is so weak here. Black's piece is looking great. The knight can come into the middle at some point. So white trying to get his king safer. Okay, it's got a bit better for him now. Great maneuver there. Getting rid of that knight. And all of a sudden, white's winning.
Yeah, the piece on e4 drops because the knight f6 was removed. MVL, we see you. What's up, Maxime? Saying, Anish, my goat. But unfortunately, he lost that game as soon as you walked into the chat. So for Anish, he needs to not lose this game. If he loses, the match is over. If he draws, we get extra time, Simon. And so Anish better have looked at the rules. I know players, they don't always look at the format and the rules, but he better have checked them out coming into the Bullet Chess Championship.
This is the game, isn't it? This is the big one. As you say, Robert, if Anish just doesn't lose this game, it will go into overtime. If Anish loses this game, Jose takes the match. You've got to be 2 points up, as you go on. Hello to MVL as well and everyone else in the chat. Seems like we've got a nice crew there. Hope you're doing all right, MVL. And things are good for you.
Yeah, we're always, fan of when Maxime plays. And, 95, winning a pawn. So you see Jose, he's very disappointed by what just happened. F7 hanging. If you push the pawn, G6 falls. Anish takes a pawn, and he's up a couple seconds. Now the time's even. Simon, this is a position that could come down to the top. Knight H8, what is that?
It's beautiful. That's what it is. You put the knight in the most stupid square on the board, and you dominate the center of the board. I mean, it's nice play, right?
That was beautiful. He just takes it f6. He brings his king back, or he pushes the pawn because he's starting to win e5. The queen side will win the game for Anish Giri.
Yeah, and there you go. And the score is, I think that's it. We're into overtime. Is this the last game?
No. I think you're right. It doesn't matter either way because you have to win by 2. So these players get no rest. I think this is a good thing, Simon. We don't like to be taken out of rhythm as chess players. So breaks and bullet actually are more of a distraction than anything.
Maybe Jose would like to be taken out of rhythm here because it's going against him, right? He could do the rest, and you need to get a 2-point lead, just to remind everyone. And oh my words, what's he done? He's just blundered a piece.
Yeah, he blundered the knight on c4 because the queen on d2 was loose, and he is beside himself. So you're right, Simon. I kept saying you want to keep playing, you want to be in the rhythm, but the rhythm is only going Anish's way right now.
It is, and look at Anish's concentration. He looks so absorbed into the game. This should be his game, and if Anish wins this game, he just needs to win the next one. There was a nice idea there. It looked like rook takes pawn was going to be checkmate, but white could take with check there. This is a much better way of doing it. It's going to be a whole rook up there. Last trick there from Jose. The next game key, Robert.
Yeah, and for Jose, if he knows the rules, a draw is okay. You just cannot lose the game. It's hard to even draw in bullet with no increment because the time scrambles. You don't know what's going to happen there. But we see that it's a 1-point lead suddenly for Anish Giri in the driver's seat. But do they know? That's what I really am wondering. They must know that it's both double elimination and win by 2.
They must know the rules. I mean, I'm pretty sure they looked this up beforehand. I mean, it'd be a big blunder if they didn't. And this is the tense match because, white wins, it's game, match, over. Jose needs to get a result here. I prefer white's position, though, because he's got the 2 bishops. He's got this hold on the queen side. If you look at the pawns on the queen side, white's pawn over there, now the bishop coming in to support it, gives this grip on the position.
Jose is so fast, though. He's up a couple seconds. And Anish, when he needs to turn on the jets, he does. Right now, the knight on c5 covering d7. Otherwise, the rook would infiltrate. The knight on b5 stopping any b4 pawn push because c3 would be hanging. So I like the way that Jose is handling this. Now the rooks are off. Simon, can white do anything because that pawn on b7 is locked in place?
Yeah, you look at black's pawns on the queen side. They're all on light squares. What does white have? White has a light square bishop, and that bishop can probe nearly every black pawn, and that's why white must have good chances in this ending. But knights are tricky pieces, right? We know in bullet chess just how dangerous they can be, and there's a check there. Oh, and look at that knight. The knight has come and taken a pawn, but how strong is the pawn on the edge of the board?
Yeah, it's a big question. Oh, you saw that?
Blundered it.
Anish essentially pre-moved, but he is up a little bit of time. We've seen him be very fast, but this is where Jose can shine. He has 10 seconds to Anish's 13. Can Jose get this done?
Jose does this, it will be equal in the match. He should be able to do it. He's playing quickly.
He should take the last pawn.
3 seconds left.
Take the last pawn. Okay, he does. He does just in time.
Can't lose now.
He's
up on time.
He's going to win. The knights are too tricky. Oh my goodness, what speed from the both. And Jose equals this matchup.
How quick was that at the end? Insanely quick. I mean, that was just crazy. So they are now level again. And you need that 2-point lead. Another big game.
And we need more MVL in the chat because, yeah, we are getting extra content for free. And this position, H3 was a free pawn. But Simon, that's one of those pawns where you take it and then you immediately regret grabbing it.
Yeah, I mean, you take the pawn, but you might get checkmated. That was greedy. That seemed a little bit greedy to me. Because that bishop is also completely trapped. And there it goes. White is going to just take the bishop. That was a hot pawn. Way too hot.
Oh.
So Anish trying to generate some counterplay.
It's not enough, clearly. He's going to keep trying to throw. That knight's coming to c3, though, so it shouldn't be enough from the point of view of objective chess. But this is a bit annoying for white to deal with.
It is, and I think it's going to be who gets the attack. I like what white's done, though. White has closed the position down, and now it's white's turn to attack. That is a beautiful last move, and the black king will now be opened up. White putting his bishop, his light square bishop on that square. That was a brilliant idea. It's changed a bit again, though. Black is defending well.
Oh, but d7 is a threat, and rook takes g6, or pawn takes g6. This is just over because the f7 pawn was pinned. So this is simple at this stage for Jose. He pushes all of his pawns, and one of them will queen. So the good news for Anish, he still gets more games because it's win by 2. So maybe Anish thinks that he needs to keep playing this out. I would just resign. He has, and he is right back into the next bullet game.
Again, we have a must-win situation, but this time it is Anish who needs to win the game. And that must be a bit psychologically strange, Robert, don't you think? Because, before you had that safety barrier, there's no safety barrier for Anish anymore.
No, there isn't. And it's game 4 of 6 in the additional games. And if it's tied after the 6 games, as you see on the screen in front of you, then it becomes sudden death. So Anish, he needs to get this one. He needs to equalize this matchup, but because they can't play forever. Like if you're trading off victories and it's 1.0, like, in tennis with the advantage, the deuce, at some point someone needs to win. And right now it looks like Jose Martinez is in charge. But Anish, with the white piece in this game, I like it for him.
Yeah, he's very good in the ending as well, Anish, and he's got a better pawn structure here. If you look at black's pawns over on the king side, that h-pawn of black's is a potential weakness. Black has done a great job of bringing his king over there. That was a clever maneuver, and now he's just trying to swap off pieces here.
Okay, so
time very equal as well.
Yeah, this knight comes to d3. There is bishop d6 that walks into rook d7 with a pin. The knight, I believe, is just better, and there it goes. f7's falling.
I think Anish is going to get this one.
He definitely should. He's just scooping a pawn. Oh, knight c4. That's the rook.
The rook drops back to equal again.
Oh my gosh!
How many games have they played, Robert? I'm struggling to keep up with their score now.
Yeah, it's 10F, 10F, so 21 games played. Simon, it's great that this was the last match. They say save the best for last. This is clearly our best match of the day.
Yeah, it is indeed. So do we need to have a 2-point lead still? That's what I'm trying to work out. Have they played 6 games yet? I'm not sure.
We know this is game 5, and we will not need a 2-point lead because as soon as the 6 additional games are up, if someone has the lead, I believe that ends the match. So right now, Anish playing very solidly. Both players have, frankly, been as solid as it gets. That rook on d5, though, that's annoying for black to deal with.
That's a lovely square for white in the center of the board, and Anish now kicking that rook away. But you can grab a pawn. Instead, he keeps it very simple and just activates his queen here. Slightly better for white, though, because you have this central square that you can potentially get your knight into. It's a bit unpleasant for black to play.
Agreed, and that's why Anish is pushing his pawns, but he's keeping d5 under control, f5 also under control. And only now, knight a4 is going to be a pain.
Good play from Anish. Clearly in the zone. The queens are coming off. Both players activating their kings here. And black definitely better because white has this useless extra pawn on the queen side, but black's extra pawn can become a pass pawn.
Yes, an a4 play.
Very nice. And look at white's knight. White's knight being dominated as well, Robert.
This is that super GM technique. Bortnik is in the chat. What's up, Alexander? Saying, what a match. Awesome. I don't think this is awesome for Jose right now because black is actually up a pawn even though the material's even. Look at those queenside pawns. Well, now they're dropping off. Now it's 2 extra pawns for black. The A pawn, it's the little engine that could. That's promoting. Simon, you know what that's going to mean? If Anish can pull this off, that Jose maybe... Oh, what a blunder!
Oh. What happened there?
He took and he allowed the knight to take back the check.
And it's changed again.
Oh my!
It's back to Anish winning with mate.
I can't believe it. My heart is palpitating. Wow. And you see that Jose shakes his head. He needs to win this game. It's the 6th game of additional overtime chess. If he does not win, then Anish Giri moves on in the winner's bracket.
So if it's a draw, does that mean Anish goes through as well?
I believe it does. Yes.
It does. Okay, so Jose must win with the black pieces. The thing is, it's too quick to even say a sentence, Robert. As soon as we say a sentence, the evaluation has changed. That's how quick this match is.
This match has been so awesome to see. But right now, look at that knight in black's face. B5 is coming. Black plays instead. But now C6. Ooh, what a positional eyesore.
Yeah, that's a big target for Anish's pieces. And he's dominating that side of the board. He gets a little tactic in there. He might have to go up the exchange though. Oh no, he's making more exchanges first. But
now knight c5, if d takes c5, there's still queen takes d5. These positions may still be decent for white because look at that c6 pawn. Those double rooks for black are steering into your own pawn, so they're defensive rather than aggressive pieces.
But it is still the exchange, and if black can ever activate his rooks, what you need to do when you've got the extra rook or the extra exchange is just open up files. So maybe a push of the pawn in the center at the right moment will allow one of the black rooks to get on an open file. Just open up the lines for your rooks. Don't worry if you lose a pawn doing it.
Yeah, and look at the clock. Jose is well ahead in time. He plays e5, f3 play, but that's not going to get it done. It looks like it's a winning ending for black. Maybe rook a4 at the right moment, trying to trade off those rooks could be good.
We could get a sudden death game after this. I mean, it looks like it's just an extra rook here. There's enough time. That means it's all in the next game, right? What if it's a draw? It just keeps going until one side wins, right?
That's correct. We have sudden death at this stage. And Anish, he knows he's losing this one. Do the players actually get a break or do they keep going? That's the big question.
They're not allowed a break. Straight in. They're gladiators. You can't give them a break. So whoever wins the next game will go through to the next round.
Oh my God. I'm nervous, honestly. It's not even my match. I'm just commentating, but I feel the energy, the jitters from the players. And right now, we have a situation like we saw before, Simon. White has these double pawns. Black has a healthier pawn structure. But this position, it says it's about even according to the engines. And now we have different minor pieces for each side.
I bet we get 6 draws in a row now. That would be just to keep the tension going. This match has been so tense so far, and who's better here? I mean, I like black because he's controlling the open file. Black has the better pawn structure, and his knight looks good. So even though the evaluation bar says it's even, black has the better pieces. I suppose the black king is a bit weaker though. Oh, and he's blundered a pawn. You can see Anish clearly really annoyed with that move. He's given away a very important pawn. White has now 2 strong pawns. Oh dear, Robert, that was a major mistake there.
It was, and you could see it in his eyes. Like his eyes lit up as soon as he allowed Queen A7 first, and then he allowed this Queen trade. And now it's all Jose, and this is going to be disappointing. Look at the white pawns; they've stopped all of Black's pawns from moving.
Yeah, got a great blockade with the white pawns. Jose looks so focused at the moment, not showing any emotion. If he can get the king into the position, it's got to be game over. And look at the white king. The white king is just munching, munch.
Yeah.
It's a hungry king, and I think that's going to be it.
Wow, what a match that was. Jose, look at it. Look at him celebrate there, and he deserves every ounce of that celebration. You could tell he put his entire heart and soul, every last ounce of energy into those final stretch of games. So congratulations to Jose Martinez, who advances to the winners quarterfinal.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was what our bullet chess championships are about. Close matches, fighting chess. You've got to feel a bit sorry for Anish. It could have gone either way, that match, but Jose kept his cool the better in that tensing.
Well-deserved victory for Jose Martinez. And what's craziest of all is you look at the score between Anish and Jose. They played 7 extra games, and those 7 extra games equals Hikaru's total, right? Both matches were 24 games. Hikaru just won so many games so quickly that he got to 22 and a half. So, Simon, that is absolutely ridiculous what Hikaru was able to accomplish today.
Yeah, I mean, getting that many wins on the board in the time half an hour, I mean, it just shows you how quick Hikaru is at moving and how good he is at moving as well. So, Hikaru clearly on good form. And I think a pretty good first day, Robert, don't you? Pretty exciting chess today.
I love how you're playing it down. You just want even more excitement tomorrow, but that was such a great opening day. And it's not over just yet, because while we'll look at the bracket right now, in a few minutes we'll also be joined by Jose Martinez for an interview. But we see at the top of the bracket there, Hikaru Nakamura, he crushed it. He is going to take on Jose Martinez, who had the stiffest test of the first round, taking on Nishigiri. That match was a nail-biter that we were just having the privilege to witness. But that matchup should be fun tomorrow between Hikaru and Jose. And the journey does not end for Nishigiri, because there is double elimination, there is a loser's bracket, and we see Anish takes on Amin Ohanian. I think Anish is the favorite down on the bottom over there. He played so well in that match today.
Yes, he did. He played really well. I mean, I guess he's got to get over that loss. He's going to be very disappointed, as you are. But I mean, he's been in this situation many times before. And yeah, that was really the closest match of the day by quite some margin. The other matches went one way by a big margin, I'd say. And Hikaru, the player of the day, do we think? Playing the best chess, getting the biggest score?
I think between maybe Andrew Tang, you really loved his chess earlier today, and he beat Draken. So I feel like between the two of them, it's hard to pick just one. But I'm with you that this has been a stellar performance from the better seeds. They all went on to win, but that last match between Jose Martinez and Anish Giri was that close. We will be joined by Jose on the flip side of this break. Do not go anywhere.
Have a friend or family member who loves chess? Gift them a Chess.com membership today and see them take their game to the next level. You can choose a gold, platinum, or diamond membership for 1 month or 1 year. Want your gift to arrive on your friend's birthday or on a holiday? Gifts can be scheduled to arrive up to 90 days in the future. All premium plans include an ad-free experience, unlimited puzzles and lessons, and unlock all bots. Go Platinum to add unlimited game review or Diamond to unlock insights and coach explanations. Give the gift of chess today.
Dude, it's impossible to not hear you just breathing super loudly.
Okay, fine. I will hold my breath for 3 minutes.
All right, let's go. Let's go
sure.
right now. Got the
Ready?
chess clock app right here. Almost there. And you did it.
What can you do for 3 minutes?
My wife says not a lot, but I can plank.
Keep that big butt down. Dude, nice.
2, 1, you did it. Wow. I feel better. Oh, yeah. You were timing me?
Yeah, you were in there for 30
Oh,
minutes.
man.
Let's play some chess and get some dinner.
Let's do it.
Time odds?
Yeah.
Okay. You bring a clock?
Oh, I left my clock at home.
Dude, you idiot. I told you to bring it.
Let's just go get something to eat.
Okay. Download the new chess.com clock app so you can time yourself playing chess or whatever other dumb stuff you and your friends do.
And we are joined by perhaps the man of the day, Jose Martinez, with an epic showdown against Anish Giri. Jose, first question for you is, are you breathing okay? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling I will almost die soon. I know like the match will be really hard. I know Anish. I suppose he was training with some accounts, so I played some matches. He didn't knew it. I know who is with his anonymous account, so he's really strong. Like he's not an easy opponent in bullet, for sure. In classical and in other time controls is like a beast, elite player, top five. But in Bullet, I get impressed because he was playing a lot. So I take it seriously. My prep in Sunday, no, yesterday.
Yeah, it was a really exciting match. I mean, everyone was getting very, very well. They didn't know what was going to happen at the end, and that means your reward is you're going to play Hikaru in the next round. And what are your thoughts on playing Hikaru next?
If I play Hikaru with the same level of today, I will lose like with 10 games in a row. But I will get adopted. So I need to rest, to take a bath maybe before the match, and I hope I can like be in the bullet mood, the correct bullet mood that I always be when I play some tournaments. Yeah.
And I mean, Jose, being able to relax sounds like it's difficult given what we just witnessed. Can you take us through your mind during the match? You were down early, then you stormed ahead, and then Anish came back. Like, how did you feel the match was going? Were you ever really worried that you were going to lose?
For sure, I consider a lot. Like this match, I think was 50-50 or maybe some advantage for me because I always play bullet. But I consider sometimes I can lose the match. But I was really dumb. I was really dumb when I was 3 points ahead. I just relaxed. I didn't focus more. I just relaxed. I think the match will be over because it was like 7.5 against 4.5. So I think I will win because I guess the time will be like 2 minutes or 3 minutes left. So I just play normal chess. He played excellent. I made some mistakes and then he came back. He won 3 in a row. So he tied it. And I was really, really at some point nervous because I didn't expect it.
And how do you prepare like for a match like this? I mean, like let's say you got an hour or two before the match starts. Is there anything you do? Do you do some puzzles or something else to get in the right mindset?
I think for bullet, you should be like in your 5 sense alert. You need to like be in a. If you're fighting with the lion in the jungle, you need to be like that. You need to be like so focused and so prepared for everything. And I think today I was not in that mood. I was like feeling tired. I think because I didn't take a bath, I didn't eat breakfast. So yeah, maybe I need to change something for tomorrow. I don't want Hikaru to destroy me a lot. No, I want to give him a really good match. And if I am in my best shape, I can think in a miracle.
Well, one thing you definitely didn't need to change today is that shirt. I gotta always give it a shout out every time I see it. That chess is more fun with tacos. So what is that? Just your shirt when you're playing in a serious competition? You wear the fun shirt.
I choose this shirt like with us. How to say it? Yeah, my English is not good. I didn't find the correct word, but with intention because I was choosing should I put a Peruvian shirt, should I put a Mexican shirt, and then decide I have this. I remember some nice tournament I have with this shirt. I think in Pro Chess League I have my best performance using this clothes. So I think it's my lucky shirt. At least today I have a lot of luck in some games.
Where are the tacos? Are they nearby?
Yeah, in Mexico we love tacos. I'm now in Mexico. I'm Peruvian, but I'm living in Mexico for some months. So this shirt is not like casual. It's like I have the feeling. I have the Mexican feeling.
Well, hopefully you have the feeling. You get the feeling. You didn't eat breakfast. Go eat some tacos. Go enjoy yourself. Jose, we'll see you tomorrow for your matchup against Hikaru. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Simon.
And that is Jose Martinez from Peru. in Mexico, taking down Super Grandmaster Anish Giri. He is the only person who qualified into the Bullet Chess Championship to win their opening round matchup, and what a matchup that was. The most exciting by far in the winner's bracket first round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so close, that match. I mean, there are a number of great players and matches going on, though. Again, I would like to mention Magnus Carlsen. It's his first time playing here, and maybe I'm just a bit of a Magnus fan, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how he's going to progress in this competition. He mentioned that he hasn't got his ideal setup, and he's going to have to play maybe better tomorrow against Min, because that's going to be tough, that one, Robert, I feel, for him, if he doesn't come out at full speed ahead.
Yeah, and I've already revised the question I was going to ask you, at least the one I was planning to ask you, so I'll just ask directly, how far do you think Anish Giri can go? How deep of a run do you think he can make from the loser's bracket?
Good question. I mean, the way he was playing in that match, he was getting the better positions, I feel. If he wins couple of times, I reckon he could go deep. He's a real fighter, Anish, and that's been proven by his track record against the elite players and how well he's done in his chess career.
Yeah, he really, I think, proved to a lot of people there that he can fight with the best of them in bullet chess. That was a great matchup won by Jose Martinez. Shout out to both those players. But this is a 16-person field. Everyone comes back tomorrow. We will have more amazing matchups in store for you tomorrow as we get into the quarterfinals, the winner's bracket, and into the loser's bracket. So don't miss that action. That's tomorrow. Same time, same place, and same faces. It'll be me and Simon once more. So we thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had as much fun as we did. And we'll see you tomorrow from the Bullet Chess Championship 2023.
both chess hobbyists and professionals to find opportunities to join clubs, to join tournaments, and to make the chess world a little bit more connected. Today we have all these chess listservs, email lists, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, etc. Outpost is trying to consolidate all that into one place where you can show your CV, you can find opportunities, and we're just learning a little bit about Lena's background right now, having played chess from the age of 5 and working her way up through the competitive scene. Did I miss anything, Lena?
It was the best speech ever for Outpost.
Okay, cool. So
I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yeah, and quick shout, we have two mods and VIPs in chat saying our usual co-host Deepak, I know you know Deepak, Lena, actually beat our other co-host. Yeah, he's coming over to Serbia, I think a little bit later, right? This summer. But he beat Casa Corley, our other co-host on the checkout shits. We had some friendly fire over the weekend. Apparently Casa came out hot and tried to be really aggressive toward Deepak. Deepak defended and was able to get a win and earn a international master norm over the weekend. So he is on his way to both IM and GM. He's on track to get both by the end of the summer, assuming all goes well in these tournaments. So quick aside there, shout outs to our friends Casa and Deepak, and thanks for the reminder, MD Knight and Trevor. And then also just for you, Lena, a comment in chat. I see the need for this. Been playing bad internet chess for ages, and feel like over the board, not to mention chess professionals dwell like a light year away from the present or from my scene. So Juho with a little reinforcement that the world needs more Outpost. But I did interrupt you when that raid came in, so would love to talk more about like when did you choose focusing on chess over these outdoor sports? Because that's the decision I had to make too, and I ended up choosing soccer over chess. So I think a lot of people can probably relate to that, which is, as a little kid, do you want to be inside in a cold, dark room studying openings, studying end games, or do you want to be outside in the sun with your friends? It's a tough decision to make. So how did you make that decision? How old were you, and what happened after?
It is really tough. I'm gonna need to ask you the same question after I answer this one.
Okay.
So regarding my thing and my decision, it was pretty hard. So the timing, it was just before I enroll in my high school. And this decision was made only by I mentioned the individual sports thing, when you feel something and when you feel that is really your win, when you feel this is really your trophy, when you feel this is really your loss or something like that. So you feel it more. And the thing in chess is that I started winning a lot. And that is something like I loved it. And there wasn't a chance to just stop being successful in something. So maybe that is something like, sometimes that is good, sometimes that is bad, to choose by result what kind of sport you're going to play. But it was a definitely good decision. So results showed me that that's my actually way to go. And what is cool about the other sports, I actually never stopped playing football, soccer, volleyball, table tennis. So whatever you mentioned, it was always like some kind of, regret in my heart because I stopped playing that professionally. But now I'm playing that, not professionally, but I'm enjoying that in my real life. So it's kind of the stuff that I won much more trophies in chess than in regular sports. Made myself make a decision to choose chess.
It's a good reason. That's a good reason. You're a winner. That's why you stuck with it. No, I mean, it was simple for me. I was having a lot more both fun and success outside. So I mostly played soccer and also a sport we have in the States called lacrosse growing up. I had teams where I felt a sense of community and loved, being part of a group that was all working towards the same thing. So I think later in life, I came to appreciate one-on-one sports more, like chess, but also like combat sports. But earlier in life, I liked playing with my friends. I liked, scoring and celebrating together and that kind of thing. So I tried to do both for a while, which is probably something you experienced too. And I wasn't excelling at either. And I think I was having a little bit more fun and success away from the board. So it became more of a hobby and something I would do with my father, my grandfather, and once a week at chess club at school. But it wasn't like the everyday with a chess coach doing tournaments every weekend that you're very used to. So yeah, never really progressed through youth chess. Just kind of had like the early kind of foundation. But once you started winning a lot, how long did it take to earn your first title and to start competing at like a much higher level?
Let's say when I was, interesting info now. When I was 12, I won the world champion, the woman world champion, Anya Ushenina, and that was my biggest one ever. And when I won her when I was 12, that was like everybody thought I'm gonna be the next one, but they were just it was a big push behind my back to just one more thing to make decision to play chess. And that was my like first earnings from chess, my first money from chess. Everything starts early when you play chess, but when it comes to like woman FIDE master and woman international master title, that came later. I was 19, actually 17 when I become a FIDE master, and once I came back, I was 23 when I became woman international master.
Wow.
Don't if I just made a mistake about years, don't pay attention on it. But it was something like that, like that. It was an easy path to do. It was such a good achievement. And when you have that kind of title, you know that you're ready to start coaching others, to be trainer to others. Because it's not easy, to teach the kids after. So once I grew up in chess as a player, I gave myself opportunity to try to teach kids. And then after that, when I was like 25, I guess, or maybe 24, I started thinking of being an arbiter. So that's kind of like you say, chronologically path of roles in chess. You're always first a player, then you start training the others, and then you start being an arbiter, and who knows what else. And then you start a company.
There you go. I don't think many people make it to the last step, which I'm excited to get to. But before we do, it seems like there's and for a lot of players, there's another kind of crossroads to continue being a competitive player, trying to win more tournaments, earn higher titles, etc., or to start doing something else, whether that's a different career, using all the tools that chess equips your brain with to go into computer programming, or to go into project management, or to go into fill in the blank. And in your case, to start to coach, which I think a lot of chess players end up doing because they still want to study, but they can make money in the meantime helping other players get better at the game as well. So when was that crossroads for you? Because Women's International Master is an extremely amazing accomplishment. It is such a sought after title. But there's also other titles beyond it. Did you think about becoming a women's grandmaster or going after other titles? Or did you kind of know inside, this is the path for me? I want to start coaching. I want to start doing other things.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's actually, if you want to become a grandmaster, you need to put a lot of effort there. You need to be so focused. And as a woman, and we're the one who are multitasking a lot, and I'm the one who love to do a lot of different stuff at the same time. I'm not the one to focus only at the one thing. So I knew that I would be much more happier if I just spread my fingers to a lot of fields and meet the whole chess world instead of focusing myself being a grandmaster. I know how hard it is to become a grandmaster, and congratulations to everybody who did that. They needed to be focused. They need to work hard. They need to work a lot to be both psychologically and mentally strong on that part. But I knew myself, and I knew that I'm satisfied only with doing a lot of things at the same time. So I choose to, when I felt how hard it is, and what kind of time and amount of time I need to give to become a grandmaster, I was like, let's spread that time, and let's meet everything else. Who cares about the grandmaster title? I'm good with WIM, so let's meet the whole chess world, and it was okay. I was happy with that decision, and I still honestly don't know if I now ever, until the end of my life, have that much effort and focus to becoming grandmaster. That's a really, really big deal.
Yeah, and I feel really similarly. I think people ask me, when are you competing again in chess boxing? And we met around the time that I was really focused on competing. I was in the best shape of my life. I wanted to go over and represent my country and checkmate or knock out everyone that came in my path. And it got to a point where I didn't feel that anymore. I didn't want to go out and compete all the time. I didn't want to train all the time. I had other things in my life that I wanted to do, and there's really no one answer fits all questions kind of response here, because it's really just a matter of self-awareness and looking in the mirror and knowing kind of where you are in life and what you want to do. And in both of our cases, we got the title that is pretty important to continue on with our journey. You're a women's international master. You can coach. You can be an arbiter. You can be a CEO. I got a world championship title. I can commentate. I can promote. I can organize. After you kind of know you're done, it almost does more damage than good to continue competing. And so, yeah, I think that's a perfect segue into kind of the next part of your life, which, we haven't talked about, like education, getting a master's, all that kind of stuff. But when we met, you were kind of transitioning out of competition and more into your studies and coaching and looking into being an arbiter. And could you tell us a little bit more about that part of your life and the journey to Outpost?
That's another thing to mention, the faculty and education and everything. You need to think well, because a lot of players right now, and a lot of girls especially, are forgetting about education and just focusing on chess. And I still don't know what is the right answer. I'm not who am I to judge about, but I made a decision to try again, to multitasking and to balancing everything. And I started with my political science education, and then I ended up with the master in political science as well. So I never regret that part as well. So I was like growing in the person of, at the same time, in a great chess player, and at the other time in a great educational side of mine. So I was trying to balancing all the things in my life, always not to forget and not to be extreme and leave something and focus only on one thing. So that was like a part of my life where I need to sacrifice a bit of a time for chess in order to learn and scale in the other part. And what is the hardest thing there, you can see the other chess players who are focusing only on chess beating you all of a sudden, but still you need to understand that you are growing yourself in a different way or in a different fields, and if that fulfills you, that's the right choice, even though if you're going to lose some gains of some players who are pretty in a better shape than you are, because you sacrifice a little bit of chess for a little bit of something else. So that is something to be done, and you never know what is the right thing to do. It's always up to you, and it's always up to your decision. So you need to think, and you need to choose your path, and to be aware that if you're gonna lose a couple of games because of that, it's still okay in the end.
Amen. And there are times when, even if you want the big tournament win or the grandmaster title, you'll experience some self-doubt, some second guessing along the way. But I think it becomes clear when you're very honest with yourself when to transition to other things and when to stick to it. And so that part of your life transitioning. I think I am getting a little bit of feedback, Lena. Did anything change in the last few seconds? Maybe nope. I'm just speaking louder.
It's same. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, chat. Let me know if it sounds any different, or if that's just on my end. I'm just getting a little like echo. Juha, really appreciate this subscription too. I'm okay. Okay. So I guess the next part of your journey after coaching, MD Knight, here's the echo too. Okay, it's a little better for me now, but hopefully it fixed itself. Distortion feedback, but it's minor. Okay, not too distracting. Cool. We'll continue. So after you started coaching, the next step, which I don't think as many people are familiar with, is arbiter. Can you talk a little bit about what an arbiter is and what their roles and responsibilities are within the chess world?
It's one really interesting chess role. And I was younger, I was like, I will always be just a player, never a trainer, never arbiter, because it just, you're so in love with the game and is the main actor in the game. But then when you become an arbiter, you absolutely get another point of view, where there is a thing when I was a player, just to bring the story a little bit more meat, as we say in Serbia, I was thinking that I just come to the chessboard and that's all. Nothing happens before and around. We're just spoiling chess players who just come there and play, and we never know what is behind and how many people are just putting a lot of effort for everything to be done and set at the time, at every single day, and for every single round to come in peace. That's what organizers and arbiters do. So we need to learn what's everything before you come there and sit and play. You need to acknowledge that and respect that things when it comes to arbiters, because as a player we see arbiters just as a boring figures there who are just what are we doing all the time there, and they're pretty important, and they need to be I need to say the test that we passed as an exam test for being an arbiter was the most difficult test I ever examined in my life.
That's saying something too. You have a master's degree, and getting our arbitership was the most challenging. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it's a pretty tough thing. So you need to pass that test, and then you need like couple of tournaments and a good one to arbiter in order to get your FA title. Then after that, you need to pass another test, and then you need another 4 tournaments, a good one to pass in order to be international arbiters. You need to learn a lot from your colleagues. You need to have a lot of luck there to get into the good tournaments in order to get a title. So, but that's whole another level and point of view. And in that role of being an arbiter and being a fair play expert, I ended up in India, which was one of my craziest experience there. In the middle of summer, India, people, you just don't know.
You've never experienced heat until you've been to India in the middle of summer.
I thought that I hate summer here in Belgrade, in my town, because it's like 40 degrees. In India, it's the same, but it's humidity. It's spicy. It's the hottest country in the world. So it was the really beautiful experience there from the point of arbiter. And when you're an arbiter, and when you're like putting a lot of effort there to go and to sign up for a lot of tournaments to be an arbiter, you can have a chance to reach Olympia, to reach European competition, to reach world competition. So it's such a good thing, especially for the people who are like who doesn't even have any title and a chance to reach that kind of tournaments as a player. They can become an arbiter and really quick see Olympiad or European competition or stuff like that. So you have all open roads in chess to see everything and to be included in everything. Chess can offer you a lot of things from which chess players and us from the chess world, we are actually living from all of that circle. So pretty interesting angle is arbiter one, definitely.
Yeah, and it's such an important role, and it's kind of like unsung heroes of chess, because especially recently, everyone's heard about cheating within chess. Arbiters are the first line of defense against that, right? Well, I guess the first line of defense is your own conscience. You shouldn't cheat. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help the sanctity of the game. but the next line of defense are these people that respect the game so much that they want to make sure it's played in a fair way, in the right way, and so we owe a lot to arbiters. Even though when I was a little kid, I hated authority. I hated, teachers, principals, arbiters, the whole deal. But as I've grown, I understand the importance of it a lot more. And
Definitely.
and so that that I'd say is kind of the final role within the chess world that Outpost is serving, except for the tournament organizer, which I think doesn't really fall into any of those categories, right? They aren't really a chess coach. They aren't really a competitor. They might be an arbiter, but more than likely they're someone within the chess world that is connected to a lot of people that can bring them together to compete, to get along, and they're probably hiring an arbiter. They're probably hiring competitors, or at least giving away prizes. And those competitors are coming along with their coaches. So, can you talk a little bit about tournament organizers within the chess world, what their role is, and what's important to them? Because I think that's a key part in understanding Outpost.
For me, arbiters are on top of the pyramid, and I just saw and met that once I establish my company and everything, because the whole idea was to connect the whole world, which is okay, to make a community for people to match, me, whatever I survived as a chess player, to find a club, to find a tournament, to be paid on time and stuff like that. But once I start talking to people, using my platform, we started to talk a lot with tournament organizers, and actually we found out that they are having a lot of problems there, and they are the purpose of us playing a tournament. So they need to do a lot of things there to put a lot of effort in order to organize one huge event, and we don't even know how hard is that. So they started talking to us and complaining to us about we're having a problem in receiving participation fee, in receiving fee for accommodation, in sending of ours towards individuals. It's all like, we don't know, is it illegal or legal? We don't know, are the taxes are high or low? So they're pretty insecure in that part. And also, the tournaments are just not visible enough. They can get enough players. They're always afraid of, is the tournament going to be profitable or not? Because we need to understand that organizers are putting a lot of money and a lot of effort to organize that. And we as a chess players, or whoever is part of the tournament, needs to be there as a part of that tournament in order to the tournament to be success. And there is Outpost for actually we jump in and pivot a little bit to be closer to organizers, to help them first of all promote the event and being visible in the chess space. So we have a huge chess calendar where a tournament organizer can promote their self and can just say we're here and we are organizing this. On the other hand, we're a community where we love them more than players, but because we love game the most, and we need to enable them to make it as easy as possible, so that younger organizer can be brave to create a lot of events there.
Yeah, and I think you stated that really well. The tournament organizer role, there isn't much community outside of those, whether it's over the board and in person or whether it's digital. That's when all the fun happens. That you get to compete, you get to win, just like you said when you were a kid, and making that decision between outdoor sports and chess. One of the reasons you chose to stick with chess was you were winning, you were getting the medals, the trophies. It's part of what fuels getting better at something. And I think nowadays, I think there's a lot of communities and tournaments built into streaming too. So I think that there's a lot of potential for Outpost partnering with streamers to host those viewer arenas and actually have some stakes on board. Because right now it's difficult to verify who someone is, how to send them money, how to collect tournament fees. So a lot of them are just kind of for, pride. But I think with something like Outpost woven into how streamers currently do it, then you could have some exciting prizes. You could also, be able to communicate more effectively with your community, and that's one of the many things that excites me a lot about Outpost. So I think we've gotten to the point where we can talk directly about the founding of the company and what we do, and I don't know how much detail you'd like to go into. I'll let you kind of steer in terms of how the company started and got to where it is today. But I think it's an interesting story, not just for people into chess, but also people into entrepreneurship and startups and learning how something gets started. Oftentimes first it's a hobby, and then a passion project, and then what's turning into a full-time focus. But also, what it takes to find product market fit and to figure out exactly what it is that you can contribute to the world that provides enough value to justify having a business and spending a lot of time working on it. So do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like how did this whole thing start? And how did it evolve from the beginning to now?
Definitely. I'd love to. So we started at, let's say, 2021, and the whole idea was born because of me. Because I was complaining about actually what I miss in chess as a player, as an arbiter, as a coach, and everything. And my partner, who is actually my sister's husband, he was listening to me a lot, and he was like, "Okay, Lena, just stop complaining. Let's put everything on the paper and let's solve those problems for chess world. Why not?" I was like, I didn't even have idea that I can create a business of that. I was just in academic world, earning my master's degree, and I was just in a chess world. I didn't even have idea that I can, create some kind of business there and actually fix some problems and make chess a better place. So that was the connection between chess and business moment, and my business partner was somebody who was mentoring me all the time, and he has a lot of patience